In this video, guys, I'm going to be talking about the 4 stages to supreme confidence and how I went there and how you guys can use my methods to maybe apply it to your own life. Okay, so the first phase I talk about is believing in yourself, because in order to achieve anything, you have to believe, right? And so in this phase, let's make that a little bit smaller. Good. Phase 1 is believe. So in this phase, guys, we have to question our definition of confidence, right? Why do we want to be more confident? Why is being confident so important to you? And what will you do to become more confident, right? And how do you get confident? All those are common questions, and I'm going to answer all of those. So why do you want to be confident is so that you can eventually perform in a game, in front of people, so that you can get more minutes, you can get more points, you can get more playing time, right? So why do we want to be more confident? Well, we gotta perform. We want to score more. We want to, stand out. Valid reasons, okay? So what will you do to become more confident, right? Everyone just says work hard, okay? But I believe, and from my own experience, there are other ways for you to become confident. So people forget that confidence only comes from proof and results, not just promises. It comes with results. So, for instance, a result could mean 200 made shots in a day is an example of a result. Another common result could just be waking up and working out. That is a result. Waking up at 6 a.m., let's just say, right? So 6 a.m. workout is a result. And these are results that eventually give you the mental fortitude to be able to, have that confidence and have that edge on your opponent's mind, because you know for a fact that, hey, I woke up at 6 a.m. every day for 3 months straight, and I know you didn't do that, right? And so this is what creates that confidence. This is what creates that belief in phase 1. So the right question to ask yourself is, how can you achieve a result in whatever you're doing currently? So what most of you guys are doing is basketball. So before you try to get more minutes, before you try to average more points, before you try to start on the team, before you try to make varsity, the easiest result that you guys can do today is workout. Right? Do not waste your time at workout. Watch film. Right? So I'm going to put that down. You can work out. You can watch film. You can lift weights. You can get up shots. These are all result-based stuff. Right? This stuff can be daily work. That should not be skipped. And if you put this daily work in over weeks and over months, it compiles, it compounds. And what this does, it eventually gives you the first phase is belief. It helps you believe in yourself. Without believing in yourself, you can't get far in anything. So this is why phase 1 is so important. This is where your belief starts. Believe you can start your journey and put in the daily work that you can right now, which is work out, watch film, get up shots, lift weights, talk to your teammates, talk to your coaches, ask them for advice, and then go from there. Okay, phase 2, well, we have to trust ourselves. And what do I mean by that? You have to trust that you can do what you say you do, okay? And this is all about putting in the work, right? This is all about putting in the work. Putting in the work is extremely tough because most people will give up after the first week, after the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yada, yada, yada. But the 99% of you will do that. The 1% that does put in the work, well, they eventually win because they just never stop. And that's why trust is so important. Not just getting trust from other people, but before you can get trust from other people, you got to get trust from yourself. And what do I mean by that? Again, if you say you're going to work out at 6 a.m. and you don't work out at 6 a.m., you can't trust yourself, right? You say these things to your mind. You say, I want to make varsity, right? But you don't even put in the work. How do you expect to achieve something so high, but your work is here? It doesn't match. It doesn't align. Your attitude and behavior do not align. So we're going to be talking about that. Your behavior and attitude must align with your goals. So we're going to make it simple. If your goal is to make varsity, or let's just say average more points, the behavior and the attitude are two different things. Your attitude is, oh, I'm this, I deserve it. Or let's erase that. I deserve minutes, more points, more opportunity. But your behavior, you're not working out every day. You're not spending time on your athleticism. And so that's just a couple of examples of your behavior and your attitude are not matching up. Your behavior and attitude need to match up for your goal to make sense. If your goal is to make $1 million and your attitude is, I can do it, but your behavior is, you're sitting on your ass all day doing nothing, it doesn't make sense, right? So you got to make sure it aligns. For example, I wanted to make varsity. My behavior was I believed in myself. I knew I could do it. I wanted to prove people wrong. That was my attitude. My behavior, wake up at 5:30 a.m. every day, lift weights every day, make 300 shots every day, play one-on-one, play two-on-two, play five-on-five, play better people. That was my behavior every single day, and it did not stop, and that's why I achieved my goal. So it made sense. And this is the big issue with a lot of it. Phase 2 goes overlooked. Phase 1 is actually not that hard. A lot of people believe in themselves without putting in the work. But that's why phase 2 is very important. This is the work, and this is probably the longest phase in the whole, out of all the 4 phases, this is the longest phase that'll take. It'll take maybe months, 2-3 months, right? If you do it correctly, it'll take about 1 to 2, 3 months, okay? And then finally, moving on, phase 3. This one, guys, is confidence, okay? This is when you're going to start noticing small wins, right? Small wins could go anything from, you woke up for 6 days straight at 6 a.m. and you worked out, right? You notice that you're making more shots in practice. Your coach notices the shift in your focus and effort. So these are small wins, and this is what really keeps you going, okay? Phase 2 can last a long time because putting in that work might take 2-3 months, but once you get into phase 3, you start noticing these small wins, you get more and more confidence, and finally you start realizing like, okay, I'm not that far, I just got to keep going, I'm on the right track, I just got to keep going, don't stop, don't get distracted, keep my blinders on, and keep going, okay? This, you just got to understand your mindset is shifting. You got to notice the feelings that you get from becoming more confident and completing workouts and not skipping days, and your confidence finally starts growing. Not from just belief, but it actually starts coming from proof. And so this is where we get into the 4th phase, which is feel. This is when you really feel like you're the best player, or you feel like you're really, really close to accomplishing your goals, or you feel that you already are that guy or girl, but you're just not there yet in terms of physically, but mentally and spiritually, you believe it, you are it, you live it every single day. It's a lifestyle. And so finally, after months of hard work, you get a big one, okay? This could be making varsity. This could be getting a college scholarship. This could be, averaging more points in your season. And so the goal of this phase is really physically and mentally, you want to feel like the best player on the court because of the work that you put in. And to reflect on how I achieved this was when I was trying to make varsity my freshman year, the first 3 months that I really set out to achieve it was in the summertime. And going back to phase 1, I believed in myself. I told my mom, I was like, I want to make varsity. She laughed at me. She said, let's just try to make JV. I said, I didn't say anything in the moment, but I went back in my room. I thought about it. I really felt hurt because the fact that she didn't believe in me showed that if your own parent doesn't believe in you, sometimes, right? Not all the time. Still love my mom. But if she doesn't always believe in me, it shows that the only person that will really believe in you is yourself. And then the second phase, I had to trust myself. I had to trust that I was going to work out at 5:30 a.m. every single day, right? My behavior and attitude had to match my goals. Varsity was up here. My behavior and attitude was also up here. So eventually, it was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when I'm going to achieve that goal, right? And then phase 3 came, confidence. This is when I finally went through this phase. I was in the freshman summer camp. And during that process, I was hooping with the freshman team. I was doing 8 a.m. practices with the freshman camp. And after 2 games on the freshman team, we played, other freshman summer camp high schools. And after 2 games, the assistant varsity coach came up to me and he said, Tyler, do you want to come practice and play for the varsity team tonight? And I said, I'll think about it. And even though that sounds cocky, I think back on it. And the reason why I feel like I said that response was not because I was trying to be cocky, it was because deep down in my soul and body and mind, I knew it was going to happen. I was going to make varsity no matter what. And so it was almost like, I'm going to do it on my terms and I'm going to control my fate. And obviously I was a little tired at that time because, again, I was working out 4 or 5 hours a day. So that's, I was really tired when I answered this question. But I eventually played for him, had 15 points my first game on varsity. And my mom, who said to just make JV or focus on making JV, she was there after the game. First thing I said to her, I told you so. And so this was an example of a small win, right? Because again, I didn't make varsity yet, but it was on the way. And now we get into phase 4 where I feel it. Now that I'm practicing with the varsity team, I'm making noise. I'm scoring points during the summer league on the varsity team, coming off the bench. This is when I finally started to feel like, okay, it can happen. And I wasn't just dreaming now, right? Before it was believing and dreaming. Phase 2 was the work. Phase 3, well, this is where the small wins came, and I finally got some, attention. This was after 2-3 months of quiet work. Didn't talk to coaches, didn't talk to anyone. I was just working. 2-3 months, every single day. And then finally it came. So I plead with you, be patient. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, you got to be patient with yourself, and do not quit after 1 week, right? 1 week is nothing, 2 weeks is nothing, 2 months is nothing, 3 months is nothing. Maybe after a year and nothing is coming, then we might need to move on to something else. But I guarantee you can do it. It's just a matter of time, consistency, discipline, and what you're doing in your actual workouts, making sure that you're getting better and better and better every single day, right? And so once I got to that 4th phase, I knew it was going to happen. I knew I was going to make varsity, and that's what happened. And that's a small example of a big win for me. And that was one of the first big wins I've ever had in my life. And that's what really showed me that hard work does pay off. And if you're watching this and you're in that situation where you're trying to accomplish a big goal, make varsity, average 20 points a game, get a college scholarship. You got to understand there's phases and there's steps to accomplishing that goal. And the only way you really can do it is by trial and error, going through the shit. You're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days, but the key is to never stop. And I hear this from players all the time, is they stop, go, stop, go, and that's why you're breaking your momentum. Keep the momentum going. If you're working out 6 days a week, you better do that forever, right? I worked out 6 days a week, twice a day for pretty much 8 years straight. So that's why I was able to go far. in basketball and athletics because I was constantly doing stuff. I was constantly doing more. I was constantly figuring out what I was doing wrong, what I was doing good. I was analyzing, I was reflecting, I was asking coaches questions, I was asking trainers questions, I was looking up stuff online, I was researching. And that's why you have to be relentless, not only physically on the court and in your workouts, but you have to be relentless mentally in terms of getting better and taking the next step. And if you're not on the next step, well, you got to finish this step first. So I guarantee you a lot of you will be in phase 2 right now. You're just in the work phase. So don't give up, keep going. And I hope this helped. These are the 4 phases of confidence from my personal experience. And I hope you can use it to accomplish your goals. Your goals. All right. Anyway, comment below what your guys' experiences are in terms of getting confidence and how you've gone about it. I'd love to hear it. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.